Can you tell that I'm a little bit excited about our next recipe? I've got a cake today for you guys that you can cook with your children if you have them, and I think they'll absolutely love it. It's my fairy bread cake. Everyone loves fairy bread. I remember it so fondly from my childhood, but I don't understand why it doesn't happen anymore. Like, why don't adults just have parties for fairy bread? Like, I would so love that. Anyway, let's just get started. This is a treat though, so remember, this is not an everyday dish. This is a once in a while dish. I've got some butter that's going into my stand mixer, room temperature, so it's softened. Next up, I've got some cream cheese. So this dish is definitely full of all of the good things. Definitely a treat. I've got some sugar here that's going straight into my stand mixer, and we're just gonna beat that until it's all pale and creamy and light. That's looking beautiful. I'll show you this. Hopefully that doesn't fall down. It's really light, it's really airy, it's really fluffy. Now my egg can go in. One egg, that's all it needs. We've got some vanilla bean paste here. So basically what I'm doing is putting all the wet ingredients together first before I add in the dry ingredients. Let's not miss any of that beautiful vanilla bean paste. Back on. Nice mix until it's all incorporated. That's looking absolutely beautiful. As you can see, really well combined. In goes my dry ingredients now. So I've just got some plain flour and some baking powder. We're gonna pop that back onto the stand mixer and let it incorporate, and then off it comes again. Start off really slow when you're incorporating your dry ingredients, because if you go too fast, it'll just fly everywhere. Hate that. How gorgeous does this look? As you can see, it's a little bit thick, but the reasoning behind that is the next bit, the fun part, is incorporating our sprinkles into the batter. And if it's too much of a loose cake batter, the sprinkles will just kind of dissolve and clump up together. So what we want to do is instead sprinkle a little bit of it in, give it a nice fold. So you want layers of that beautiful fairy bread-like sprinkle. There's something about the sprinkles, the hundreds and thousands, that just makes me so happy, and it brings back my childhood. It's really joyful. Definitely a really, really fun recipe here to do with your kids. I'm having fun. I'm 26. We're just gonna reserve a couple of those just for a little bit later to sprinkle over the top. That there is your cake batter all finished now. Time to get him into our pre-lined little tin. So I'm using a loaf tin today because I kind of want that cake to rise, and then when I slice into it, it kind of looks like bread. So it looks like slices of bread, just like fairy bread. So we're bringing fairy bread back, but in a cool, fun, new way. So what I'm doing now is I'm just spreading that batter out so that it's smooth. And as you can see, there's a lot of leftover, and you can either scrape it off, incorporate it into that tin, or you can lick it. I would be choosing the other. Okay, that's all finished now. Ready for the oven. It's gonna go in there at 180 for 22 to 27 minutes. I know it's a little bit specific, but I just don't think 20 is enough. So my cake's come out of the oven. I've let it cool. I've demolded it. It's looking a little bit ugly, but that's okay because we're gonna hide all that with a little bit of icing. So here I've just got a really simple buttercream, which is just butter, some icing sugar, and a tiny bit of milk. I'm just gonna lather this all over my beautiful or not so beautiful cake. Now this is the fun part. This is where you wanna get the kids involved. They're gonna love doing this. Beautiful. I'm just gonna cover, just a thin layer, but just because we're gonna cover it with a little bit more of those sprinkles. It is a fairy cake after all. All right, so the icing's fully covered the cake now. Time to put the sprinkles on. Before I do that, what I want to do is grab a little bit of this baking paper. Carefully lift him up. And we're going to put the baking paper underneath just to catch any of those sprinkles that might fall through, and then we can use them again later. You want to just scatter them all around the cake. You don't have to fully cover it, but you kind of want them to know that the inside is going to be kind of the same. We've got the sprinkles on the inside as well. Really cute. So I don't want to cover the entire side of the cake. I just want a couple of these sprinkles running down the ends, like a little sprinkle ombre. All right, and that's ready to be served. That there is my fairy bread cake. Give it a go for yourself. It's a whole lot of fun.